Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you once again for checking the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So before we get into these topics, do me a big favor, be sure to hit the like button to help the video out and show it your support. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. The first topic we have to go over is the announcement of a new state of play that is happening on Thursday, June 2nd. This is reading from the official PlayStation blog where they say it's been more than 2 months since our last State of Play. Who's ready for a new one? Tune in live next Thursday, June 2nd for nearly 30 minutes of announcements and updates from the world of PlayStation. We'll have some exciting reveals from our third-party partners, plus a sneak peek at several games in development for PlayStation VR2. Now that's all they say in regards to this state of play, and I feel as though the announcement to this has been somewhat mixed so far, and I think it's completely understandable why it would be mixed. PlayStation fans, frankly, were not hoping for a third-party dedicated state of play. I actually think that what PlayStation fans were hoping for was the exact opposite of this, that being a either state of play or showcase that focused specifically on PlayStation Studios, Sony's first-party development teams and their games. We've been talking for a long time about all of these different games that Sony has in development, that they have in the pipeline, many games that are seemingly far along in their development cycle, and we have yet to hear about them. Now, I don't want to jump to any conclusions. I don't want to say that, well, there it is, guys. Sony's doing a third-party state of play during the first week of June, and that's it. We shouldn't expect anything at all until maybe September or something like that. I mean, I think it's okay to have that expectation, and if you're somebody who doesn't want to be disappointed, I think that's probably the ideal expectation to have. Maybe some people are not disappointed because they were always anticipating that Sony was going to be doing a bigger event in September and not June, but still, you know, I think a lot of us are going to hold out some hope that surely this is not the only thing that Sony is doing in June. Some people are thinking maybe they'll do something in July. I mean, what about God of War? You know, this is where I just kind of, a couple of question marks kind of pop up because I'm just confused. You know, this isn't what I was told. This isn't what I was expecting. And here we are. So yeah, I mean, Sony doesn't mention PlayStation Studios within this state of play, but my hope is that it will be a good state of play. I mean, just because Sony Studios are not going to be there doesn't mean we won't potentially see something exciting, but, you know, I've kind of been down this road many times before with state of play, and I'm going to have very low expectations, and I think that's okay. I think it's totally okay to have low expectations for a state of play. But there we go. If we hear anything more about, you know, Sony's plans for reveals and whatnot, I will be sure to update you guys and let you know. And I guess at this point, I'm going to ask you guys to let me know your thoughts about this down below. Moving on to the next topic, we have an update on the PlayStation Plus situation, where Sony revealed that it was a technical error that was to blame for this, and the Ask PlayStation Twitter account said due to a technical error, players in Asia who have previously purchased the PlayStation Plus membership at a discount have been incorrectly charged for their upgrade pricing. This error has been fixed and impacted players will receive a credit. We thank you for your patience. And so, you know, this is why I didn't want to jump to any conclusions when we covered this 2 days ago during another news video, because I mean, it was kind of, you know, blowing up and everybody was covering it and talking about it. And I want to believe, right? Like, I want to believe that this was an error and not Sony kind of being called out on their stuff here. I mean, look, there's no way for us to know. All I'm going to say is that I'm glad they responded swiftly and corrected the situation, you know, in a short period of time. So there we go. That's the update with the PlayStation Plus situation. I think a lot of people are relieved about this. Next up, we're talking about a PlayStation title that has seemingly had its release date revealed. That game being Stray. This is a title that a lot of PlayStation fans are looking forward to and have been eagerly anticipating, you know, getting that release date. So this comes from PlayStation Game Size over on Twitter, where they say, according to PlayStation's database, Stray is coming on July 19th, 2022. He does emphasize that it might just be a placeholder, but that is a pretty specific date, and it does line up with, everything we've been hearing about, Stray, and with the state of play that was just announced. This would be a game that maybe you would assume would show up with a release date. So yeah, if you're looking forward to Stray, I mean, I wouldn't lock this date in 100%, but it seems highly likely that this is when it's going to launch. Let me know if you plan to play it. Next up, we have some games that are apparently set to join the PlayStation Plus Classics catalog in the future. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, they say fans have been longing for a new Dino Crisis game for eons, and while this isn't the new game that we asked for, something is better than nothing. According to a new leak, Dino Crisis looks set to join the PlayStation Plus Classics catalog. Images of the game appeared on multiple Asian storefronts after the new service's rollout, but isn't available to download or purchase yet. But that's not the only classic PlayStation game that is seemingly set to join the catalog. Apparently, the PSP game Resistance Retribution was rated for both PS5 and PS4. This is a 2009 PSP game, and, this is again kind of happening the same way in which we saw it happen with Siphon Filter, and fans are excited about this. This is, I think, something that a lot of PlayStation Plus premium subscribers are hopeful about, that being that this classic games catalog will continue to grow in a significant way, because if there's one thing that PlayStation does have is a massive back catalog of games, a very strong one at that, and games like Dino Crisis, games like Resistance Retribution, I've seen a lot of people hoping for, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, and a bunch of other titles. Hopefully we'll get those, but yeah, this is I think a good sign, because I think some people were feeling pretty underwhelmed, to say the least, about the classics catalog lineup, and there's definitely some growing that Sony has to do there. And so I think that this is a pretty solid start. But the final topics I have for you talk about Forspoken. So first and foremost, we recently covered a rumor that maybe Forspoken was going to get delayed into 2023, and Final Fantasy 16 may end up taking its place. While it seems like that might not be happening, and there may have actually been no truth to that rumor, because Forspoken received an 18 rating in Europe, which is definitely suggesting that the release date is going to stick, and that we're going to be getting this game in October. It would be unexpected at this point, after it being rated, for it to be delayed into next year. So yeah, it seems like if Final Fantasy 16 does make an appearance this year, it's going to be maybe to kind of hype the game up for next year, possibly early next year. We'll have to see about that. But there was some concern with Forspoken in this rating that there were going to be microtransactions in the game, but it has been explicitly confirmed by Square Enix that there will be no microtransactions in Forspoken. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, they say Square Enix has confirmed that it has no plans to release Forspoken microtransactions. However, the game will receive premium downloadable content. Rumors of the game featuring microtransactions started swirling again over the last week, when the game's ratings board made references to in-game purchases. And I thought that this was a really good thing for Square Enix to confirm, because yeah, the game, that being Forspoken, it needs as much goodwill as it can get, and there's already a lot of people who are kind of on the fence about it. And when they see stuff like this, for a lot of people, their mind automatically goes to the worst possible place, which is, oh, they're going to have microtransactions. And considering the way Square Enix has handled some of their games in the past, it's understandable why people would think that. So I definitely think it's good that Square Enix kind of got in front of this before it became a thing, and made it clear that that's just for premium downloadable content, which I think people are okay with. I think that people have no problem getting standalone DLC and whatnot. So there you go. That is all of the PlayStation news that I have for you today. At this point, I'm going to ask you to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll definitely be interested to see what you guys have to say. Again, leave the video a like if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.